Hello out there, welcome once again to Marriage Without Tears channel. My name is Felix Okeke. I am your marriage counselor and coach. Please forgive me for the enormous noise on the background. I am simply at the city of Enugu in the eastern part of Nigeria. It is a city that never sleeps. So I have been trying to see whether we can do this in a more conducive noise level. But it has prevailed, and we need to talk at least for the last time in 2021 because the year is finally rolling to an end. I just wanted to drop a few counsel before the year is over, especially for some of us women who are married. I have received this question several times, and I want us to address that matter. First of all, I want to appreciate you for all the faith and all the joy you have shown throughout this program. We did this together in 2020, in 2021, and suddenly 2021 is rolling to an end, and we're about entering into 2022. I want to tell you that I, my family, my crew members, every one of us, we appreciate your involvement in this program. We appreciate all the comments we have received. We appreciate every way you have participated, whether as a subscriber or as a participant or as just a viewer. We appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And as we go into 2022, I believe God that your marriage and your family life will be gloriously touched as a result of being part of this channel. So once again, we go into the topic of our day. And what is the topic? How can I make my husband to pay attention unto me? How can I make my husband to pay attention unto me? This is a question that has been on the lips of many wives down the ages. Many wives have asked me this, even in counseling sessions. How do I get my husband to pay attention to me, to listen to me, to take me to heart? How do I get my husband to pay attention to me? Even in celebrations like this, at the end of the year like this, most women, they discover that their husband is more interested in other things, in other values, rather than being interested unto them. So they are worried. And many people are asking, how do I get my husband to pay attention unto me? If you listen, you will hear the answers right away. Number one, you want your husband to pay attention unto you, then you must pay attention to his success journey. Every man likes to be successful, whether as a professional or simply as a business person. In whatever enterprise a man is engaged in, he desires to be successful. And any man or woman that is instrumental to that success will always receive the man's attention. But I discovered that there are so many housewives, so many wives who don't even have an idea of the business of their husband. They don't have an idea what the husband does for a living, as long as the man brings food to the table. That is not what it ought to be. If you are a wife, you ought to know what your husband does for a living. You ought to know how to devise ways of encouraging that enterprise, of being part of his success journey. If you are a part of a man's success journey, the man will be interested in you. He'll be interested on things that interest you. He'll be interested in fulfilling the desires of your heart. If you make yourself available as partner in progress, as partner in his success journey, that man will be really interested in whatever interests you. Very, very important. I will say, woman in the marriage, I want you to mark that as the top of your agenda. From now henceforth, even as you go into 2022, be interested in things that interest your husband, especially in his professional life. Very, very important indeed. The second thing that can make a man to pay attention unto you is when you give him the right counsel at all times, the right advice. Most women don't know how to think twice before they engage their husbands in terms of giving him advice. If a man is in marriage with you, he takes you as his partner. He takes you as the same person with him. He desires to hear your counsel. He desires to know that your counsel makes a lot of difference in his life. But when you utter counsel, when you advise without thinking twice, and on several occasions your advice are proven wrong, it is difficult for that man to take you serious. I know of a man who desired to buy a piece of land somewhere. He came over to his wife and said, "Darling, I see this piece of land is a wonderful place." And the woman said, "Let's go and take a look at it." They went there, they looked at it, and the woman castigated the man. He said, how dare you? How can you be interested in this kind of piece of it? It's right in the bush. It's not worth a penny. Don't go for it. And the man reluctantly obeyed the counsel of his wife. But do you know what? About 3-4 years, that same piece of land was selling 20 times the price. And that same piece of land that was once in the bush was now in the middle of the city. I tell you, that man never forgave himself. Other counsels like that the woman has given never, instead of increasing the man's value, was always depreciating it. So the man was no longer interested in taking counsel from his wife. Rather, he seeks counsel outside of his home. So if you want your man to actually take you serious and to be concerned in matters that concern you and pay attention unto you, then you must think twice as you give him counsel, so that your counsel will also influence his growth. Your counsel will also make a difference, a positive difference, a positive impact onto his life. Very, very important indeed. You must be there for him. It's very important. That is the second thing you must do if you want your man to also pay attention to you. The third thing you must do if you want your man to pay attention to you is that you must learn to empathize with him in frustrating times, in difficult seasons of life. You must learn to empathize with him. But there are so many women out there, I don't know whether you're one of them, who anytime their husband is in time of distress, in time of pain, instead of being the motivating factor, they run the man down. They talk like Job's wife, curse God and die. That is the advice of some of these women. They don't sit back to know that at this period in time, in this frustrating season, this disappointing season, the motivating arm which my husband actually needs is me. I must be there to increase him. I must be there to motivate him. I must be there to talk to him in a way that will lift him out of the cocoon, that will lift him out of that frustrating moment. Most women don't take advantage of that. If you fail to take advantage of such situations, such seasons, to become a voice of encouragement, a voice of motivation unto your husband, and other people outside your home begin to encourage him at such seasons, I can tell you that the attention of your husband will shift to those people. So every woman, every wise woman ought to know that anytime your husband is in a moment of weakness, disappointment, frustrations, this is your moment. This is the time to come in and begin to offer that kind of counsel that will lift him out of that place of desperation to a place of comfort. Very, very important indeed. And I don't want you to take that for granted. If you want your husband to actually pay you attention, he must see you as the voice of encouragement in seasons of despair. Very, very important indeed. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. There's a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed and become part of this success journey. We are doing a whole lot in 2022, and I want you to be a very important part of it. So what is the fourth one? The place of submission. Very, very important in the life of a woman. Many women think that submission is a sign of weakness, but I can tell you that submission is a sign of stooping to conquer. A submissive wife will always receive the best from her husband. Submission is a place of obedience in the life of a woman. It's a place of acceptance. It's a place of addition. It's a place of blessing. A place where a woman will receive her greatest benefit as a wife is at the altar of submission. If you know how to submit to your husband wholeheartedly, unquestionably, you will always be at his best whenever he looks for a woman, a real woman. Your husband can go out there, he can chat with women, he can do all manner of things, he can comb the field, he can be promiscuous, but when he desires a real woman, he will always come to the woman that actually submits to him. It's very, very important. If you want to have the ears of your husband continually, learn to be a submissive vessel, a submissive wife. Learn to be somebody that your husband can count upon to submit, to listen, give him a full ear as a companion, as a fellow hire to the grace of life. Learn to be that woman that will be able to articulate, to be able to capture the essence of your husband and be able to submit in order to be a blessing unto him. If you do that as a woman, your husband will treasure you, and your husband will always attend to your needs. Very, very important indeed. Very, very important. As we go to the fifth point, I just want to give you about 6 points. The fifth point is this. Please, sex is very important in the life of any man. If a woman wants to have her husband eating from her palms, then she must be a quality sex object before her husband. She must be that woman that her husband treasures when it comes to sexual enterprise. Anytime that the man thinks of sex, your wife should be the very paramount person in your heart. And that woman must be ready to condition herself to fulfill that assignment. What do I mean by that? From the way she takes her bath, from the way she washes her body, from the way she takes care of her laundries, from the way she does everything, from the way she prepares her home, from the way she tidies up her physical body, from the way she brushes her teeth. Everything about her is an arrangement that is geared towards having quality time with her husband. So that at the end of the day, it's not just only about the bed. Of course, the bed is very important. It also means that you don't have to be docile in bed. You don't have to lie on the bed like a log of wood. You must be very, very emphatic and know what you desire from your man and give it to him, even in bed. A woman that is ravishing in bed can always get anything from her husband. It's very, very important. But I have so many women who are always thinking in terms of trading with their sexual self. They use it like a business. Oh, you didn't buy this from me, therefore I will not do this. Oh, you couldn't fulfill so and so thing, therefore I will not do this. No, or rather, I couldn't get this from you, or what I demanded. No. It's not a transaction. It's something that a man and a woman need to, find pleasure in. And as a woman, you must know how to engage your husband at that level. If you want not just to have the respect of your husband, but also to have your husband eating right from your palms, it's very, very important. Very, very important indeed. And I want you to watch over that aspect. Very important. Don't allow your husband to begin to look on the outside and still expect him to respect you who is inside. No, it doesn't work that way. Be the primary, the number one factor in his life. Make sure you do that, and then the rest is history. And finally, please, number 6, study your husband. Learn more about your husband. Someone once told me, marriage is an institution where you never pass out. You are always there. You are always a student in marriage. Be a continual student of your husband. Learn more about him. Learn those values that he holds so sacrosanct. Those values that are very important to him. Learn them to heart. And as you begin to apply them, you will find affinity. You will find oneness with him. And he will begin to love you. He will begin to respect you. You will become his priority. If you want your husband to pay you attention, these are things you do. These are things you do. But I find so many women who don't take time to know what makes their husband happy, to know how to study, to know. Let me tell you, if you don't know about him, you can never reach him. So you need to make out time, know more about him, and of course, God will give you all that is necessary for you to reach him. And as you do so, you will become the priority of his life. You become the number one important factor in his life. And that is what we seek to gain, even in this season. You are blessed. I actually look forward to seeing you in 2022. Please, if you have a friend who is here to subscribe to this channel, please encourage him or her to subscribe, so that in 2022, it will be full blast. We will have so many things to talk about. And if you have questions that are, tugging at your heart, that you want us to answer within the concept of this production, please do so immediately. Look at the comment section. Pen down those questions, and it will be my joy to attend to them. And I thank you very much for being part of today's production, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Look at that red button by my side. Please click on this red button. Get subscribed immediately. I want you to be part of this journey from January 2022. Be part of it, because we have a whole lot to do. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. God bless you real good.